Let's be real. When you hear country music, you probably think of cowboys, pickup trucks, and dusty roads, right? Well, the real story is way, way more interesting. And get this, it's actually kind of like your favorite video game. So let's jump in and see how.
So, what even is country music? Is it just one thing? One sound? Nah, not even close. The real answer isn't some boring definition. It's an epic story about how a simple kind of music kept leveling up, grabbing new gear, and pretty much took over the world. You know how every epic story has a starting zone, right? Well, for country music, the spawn point wasn't some flashy recording studio. Nope, it was way humbler than that. Okay, so picture this. Way back in the day, this music was just a blend of old folk songs from European immigrants and amazing musical traditions from African Americans. It was all happening on front porches. But then, bam, the first level up. In the 1920s, they added new gear like the banjo and mandolin, which gave everything this bright, energetic new vibe. But the real game changer, the biggest power-up of all, was the radio. Suddenly, stations started broadcasting what they called hillbilly music, and these local porch songs were blasted out to a massive new audience for the first time ever.
So the music is starting to blow up. What happens next? Well, like any big movement, it needed a home base, a capital city where all the best players could gather, team up, and get seriously powerful. And that place was Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, Nashville basically became the genre's main server, its capital city. If you wanted to make it big in country, you had to go there. There was no other option. It got the nickname Music City for a good reason. It had absolutely everything you'd need to go from a nobody to a superstar. And here's exactly why Nashville was the spot. It was just loaded with resources. I mean, tons of recording studios, companies that would actually publish your songs, and legendary places to perform. It became this magnet for talent. And it had the ultimate legendary location, the Ryman Auditorium, which everyone called the Mother Church of country music. And inside this whole world, the one final boss achievement, the ultimate prize, was becoming a member of the Grand Ole Opry. Seriously, think of it like getting that blue verified checkmark on social media, but a million times cooler. It started as a radio show way back in 1925, and get this, it's still going today. It's the longest-running radio show in U.S. history. If you got to play on that stage, you had officially made it. Game over. You won. All right, so let's say you've made it to Nashville. You're ready to become a star. What's in your starter pack? What skills and gear do you actually need? Let's check out the essential toolkit. So you can basically think of a country band like a squad in a game. Everybody has a role. The acoustic guitar, that's your foundation, holding down the rhythm. The fiddle, that's your attacker, dropping all the fast, catchy melodies. The banjo gives you that energy boost with that bright, rolling sound. Your steel guitar is the support character, adding all those smooth, emotional vibes. And the bass? Oh yeah, that's your tank. Just keeps the beat rock solid and holds the whole team together. But you want to know the most important skill in the whole toolkit? It's not an instrument. It's storytelling. Country songs are really just simple, direct stories that anyone can get. The lyrics are like the main quest in a game. They're all about stuff we've all been through. Love, heartbreak, family, just regular everyday life. That emotional connection, that's the heart of the whole thing. But you know how games never just stay the same, right? There are always updates, expansion packs, DLC, and even players who decide to rebel against the rules. Well, country music was exactly like that. Over the years, country music got a bunch of major updates. In the 40s, you got bluegrass. Think of it as the speedrun version, super fast and technical. After World War II, honky-tonk took over. That was the loud electric party music made for bars. Then, in the late 50s, the Nashville sound dropped. This was the big, glossy update, all polished and pop-friendly, designed to get on every radio station in the country. But not everyone was a fan of this slick new patch, which led to the Outlaws. And this is where things get really interesting. You had this huge conflict in the 70s. The best way to think about it is an official server versus a modded server. The Nashville sound was the official server, super polished, professional, and made for pop radio. Producers called all the shots. But the Outlaw movement, that was the modded server. It was rough, rebellious, and raw. Artists like Willie Nelson were like, no way, we're not following your rules. They wanted creative control to make music that felt real, not just something cooked up in a lab to be a hit. So, after all these battles and all these updates, where did country music end up? What happened? Well, that little style of music that started on front porches in one part of America, it went on to conquer the entire world stage. And I'm not exaggerating. It's a global thing now. I mean, check this out. There are massive country festivals in Europe and Australia. You've got artists all over the world making country music in their own languages. And of course, the internet means anyone, anywhere can find this stuff. And why? Because those simple themes, family, home, love, heartbreak, that connect with people no matter where you're from.
So when you boil it all down, that's the real story. It's about how front porch stories, originally sung just for a few neighbors, turned into a global soundtrack that connects millions and millions of people. Country music's ultimate power has always been its simple, honest songs about life. Which, brings it all back to a really interesting question. This whole massive, global genre started on a porch with just a few instruments and a story. So think about it. What's the next big sound gonna be? What kind of music is gonna come from your generation, made in bedrooms with laptops and phones? What stories are you gonna tell?